The Joe Rogan Experience.
Undisputed. The undisputed champ, ladies and gentlemen.
It feels amazing.
God, how good does that feel for you?
Oh, top of the world, liberating.
After all that shit you had to take from people for so long. How many months was it?
13 months before I could get back in there.
13 months of people talking shit.
Yeah. It's a long time.
It's a long time. But how sweet must it have been when they raised your hand and you got the W? And still!
It was kind of a mind fuck a little bit because it was a split decision, which I was like, wait. I mean, like going back now, I can see why people were saying that. But in my head, I thought I had that thing locked up, easy, dead to rights. And I was really confident going into the scorecards. And then when that happened, I was like, you got to be kidding me. They're really trying to take this away from me after 13 months. I worked this hard. But
you got it. Yeah, that was a weird split decision. I mean, it was a very good fight, but you definitely won the fight. I watched it again today, actually.
I haven't. I've watched it one time with people. Normally after the fight, I usually watch it that night, and I usually watch it a couple of times, and I analyze it, and I break it down, take notes, wins, losses, because that's how you grow. But for this one, I just wanted a break and just get away from the sport a little bit and just kind of decompress. Because, like I said, man, 13 months is a long time to just have people just chirping at you, and you can't physically do anything because you're healing. So I was just really happy that I got it done. But now I need to go back and start to get back on that horse a little bit to get ready for the next one.
Yeah, go back and watch it. You're going to appreciate it. It's a great fight. It's a very good fight. But you're just different. You're so much different than the first fight, which made, for someone who's had neck injuries, myself, I was wanting to ask you, like, how bad, was your neck fucked up before the first fight?
Yeah.
So going into the fight, it was fucked up.
So just to give a kind of a storyline, college wrestling, freshman year, me and this guy talking shit to each other. We call each other out. He's up a weight class from me, but last year he wrestled the same weight class as me. I'm very competitive. That kid was competitive. We're both from New York. So we go after it. He slams me, spikes me on my head. His name is Dave. Spiked me on my head. I had stingers. So anytime I would turn my head, I would find like a radiating pain from like the crown of my head all the way down to like somewhere around that C disc, or like right around that area. And then each year it got progressively worse. Like that got better, but each year after that, wrestling, pulling on the head, we do hand fighting drills where we put our hands behind our back, and you got to keep your head up in a wrestling position, and your partner is just pulling on your neck and yanking it. So that didn't help. Jiu-jitsu didn't help. All these other things. So over the years, it got progressively worse. I have MRIs dating back from, I think, 2014 when I had my UFC debut, and every time it was about my neck. Almost every single fight, I had an MRI about my neck because I kept thinking, okay, this is the time I might have to get it fixed. This is the time. And we were able to just let it heal, do PT, and then before the first Jan fight, when he pulled out, I was contemplating on pulling out because my neck had a really bad flare-up, and I thought I wasn't going to make it to the fight. And thankfully, he pulled out, gave me some time to do some PT at the UFC PI. That helped out a ton, everyone over there, and then I got a shot. But the funny part about the shot, the cortisone shot, they put it in the wrong spot. But the doctor said, but you'll still get the effects. He put it like a disc level too high.
Wow.
So C6, C7 was mine. He put it in the C5, C6, he said. I'm like, well, it's not the end of the world, but I did feel some relief. But then I go through training. I'm rolling with this guy at 10th Planet, and I'm in Vegas. And it's a guy I'd never trained with before. He jumps on my neck in a guillotine, cranks my neck on a flow roll to warm up. It's the very second flow roll. Right before the fight again, I think about 3 weeks before the fight, and as soon as he did that and the roll was done, I go to him, I was like, I know the rest of this week is shot, and I'm probably going to be out for a couple of days because of this. And that's exactly what happened. And then we had the fight, whatever. After the knee, I started having some atrophy because now they're rushing me to get back. Because I texted Dana when I was in the hospital.
When you say after the knee, tell everybody, when you got
illegally knee to the head.
Yeah.
From the first fight in March 6, 2021. That night, we went to the hospital, and I texted Dana White, and I told him, like, I want to have the rematch and get this done and settled the right way, like, as soon as we can kind of thing. They were offering me to fight, like, I think, like, 2 months, what was it, March, April, May. And I was like, dude, if I was suspended, if that was a legal shot, I would have been suspended. There's no way I can fight in May. Like, if it was a legal fight-ending sequence, I would not even be cleared to compete.
Did you get concussed from that?
Oh, 100%. So my analysts out there, my doctors that know what a concussion is, they know all the symptoms, they know what a concussion is. I threw up later that night. They thought I was drinking. I was like, I didn't drink. My friends were there, and they came to see me. So they all spent a ton of money, come out buying tickets for the fight, for the flight, and some of them even gathered at the house that couldn't pay for the tickets to get out. So I had about 30-something people at the house, and here I come back from the hospital, and I still don't even remember much of the night. I had to get like people to kind of help me recall what actually happened. And when we're at the house, I kind of wanted to just go to bed, but then at the same time I felt bad because everyone spent so much money to come see me. You know, these are friends from college, from high school, middle school. So at that point I'm kind of like, well, I can't just be mopey. And, you know, I have these guys trying to lift me up. Hey, guy, you made it here. One of the hardest things to do is to get to the top, to even earn a title shot. Everything you had to do just to get the title shot, you finally got it. It's not the way you want to win, but you get an opportunity to do it again. And I had to keep it in perspective, and they helped me do that. And they wanted me to have a toast. So I had a toast with my friends and family, and people took that. And I never posted anything, but people took that because my friends were posting stuff because they were excited. I mean, I can understand why, but me, I'm not very excited as an athlete. No one wants to win like that. So it's not a very exciting moment, but
Right.
I did understand that this was special to have people that cared about you and have been following my career for so long to come out and want to hang out. So for that moment, for me, it was just really cool just to take that moment in with them. Like, hey, man, like after this, I got to kind of get back to work. And we had a toast. I said a couple words. We'll do it again, blah, blah, blah. And, they said to the champion, whatever. There was videos out. Then it looked like I was faking. I'm like, guys, I didn't know there was a protocol. How you're supposed to react after being illegally kneed in the head from a shot you don't even see.
Right.
While you're exhausted in a high-stakes fight, I didn't know there was a certain way you're supposed to act. I'm like, was I supposed to pretend like I was being like macho? Like, I'm just trying to gather myself. But after that knee, I tried to get back into the gym like a week later. I started to hit the bag to try to see if I can make May happen. But I told my manager that's probably not going to be a go. They asked for June. That would have been the Brandon Moreno fight, I think. They had that rematch. And that would have been cool, but I couldn't do push-ups. I hit the bag. I was getting radiating pain down my arm. And I couldn't do pull-ups, push-ups, bag work, all that stuff.
So this disc that you had, was it bulging at this point, or had it deteriorated to the point where it's bone on bone? Like, where were you at?
So that's a good question. I never really asked. It's just I was having pressing from, I guess herniation is when it's like spilling out.
Yeah.
So it was
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Was herniating?
Yeah, so I guess that would be the proper term. So it was spilling out into the spinal column and pushing on the nerve. And they said if it doesn't unblock within 2 to 4 weeks, that muscle could just end up just being like I could just lose muscle, and that would just be the
That's
like,
Boss
be it.
Rutten. Have you ever seen Boss Rutten's arm?
His arm. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
It's crazy. He has
Yeah.
one arm he calls baby arm because it's so atrophied. It's like
Yeah.
he has nothing there. His other arm's jacked, and he's got his right arm. He goes, I can't even hold a gallon of milk out.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And people don't understand how big of how severe of a thing that really
It's
is.
been years and years and years for him, and it still hasn't grown back.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that could have been me
That
had
could have
I
been the
been
end of
just
your
try to
career.
be try to be tough and say, I'm just gonna go fight. And they looked at it again, and surgery was the option. I was so afraid to do the surgery though, because I just wasn't sure how that was gonna
So let's explain the
happen.
surgery. You have an artificial disc.
disc replacement. Yeah.
Yeah. And Weidman had the same thing, right?
So he did like a discectomy.
He never had an artificial disc?
No, he does.
Yeah.
But the first one he did was a discectomy, I think, where they just clean it out.
Yeah.
And then I guess that didn't do too well, and then they went in and actually took it out and replaced it. So we're like blood brothers.
So when he had his disc, you at least had a friend that it was a training partner.
Yep.
You knew well, and you got a chance to ask him what the recovery was like and how is he doing? Is he good to go with that now, or is he having issues?
Well, he fought after. I mean, he fought Uriah Hall. I mean, obviously,
That was
a
crazy.
Yeah, but he's trained after that. I think he actually fought even other fights after that as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had a couple
you're right.
fights.
I think he had a couple fights.
But he said it doesn't bother him. Same thing with me. You could barely even see my scar.
And so your neck feels just like a normal neck now?
It's weird. So I hit the doctor up, Dr. Robert Watkins Jr. He's the man, super cool, super accessible, and really like checks up on his patients, which not a lot of people do that, and thank God he was the guy who handled the procedure, because I think he did a phenomenal job from what I know, and just being very hands-on with me, walking me through the process. When I'm asking him about my recovery from a neurological standpoint, when I'm trying to get back into training and I'm like not feeling the muscle endurance, and I still feel like I'm slowing down, and he did a good job walking me through everything, just saying like, hey man, it just kind of just takes time, just stay with the stuff and the protocol as long as you're not having any pain, kind of thing.
So when you're saying muscle endurance, like your neck was fatiguing, is that what you're saying?
Just about everything.
Everything.
Like a lot quicker, like physically I looked good, but like internally, like all the neurological things, like the wiring, it's like since they severed the nerves, I guess it just took a while.
They sever your nerves?
Well, I mean, I would imagine like when you cut the neck, there's probably nerve endings in there.
They don't cut your nerves.
Well, I know. I think the nerves move out of the way or something like that.
Yeah, they push them out of the way.
Yeah, but when they do cut in, like something happens there mechanically where you have to like get everything back to working the way that it was before.
Do you have an image of what it looks like now, like an MRI or an X-ray or something like that, where we could see the fake disc? That always freaks me out.
I might have something on my IG.
Eddie Bravo's got one of those in his lower back. He's got a fake one. I know a lot of guys that have them now. You know, it's one of the things that we were talking about, people that have issues over time and get surgeries over time from jiu-jitsu. It's like everybody has something eventually, but a lot of guys are getting disc replacements.
Yeah, I do have a picture posted. I mean, it might take me a while to find it because I don't have Wi-Fi.
Is it on Instagram?
Yeah.
You'll find it.
But yeah, man, it was just a crazy process, like just to get back. And after the knee, then I did the surgery, and I was afraid to do it because I just wasn't sure what I was going to look like, because there was only like 3 people who have done it. Aljamain, he was very great with me as well.
Oh, Alan did it too?
Yeah, and I think we actually had the same doctor. And I asked him about it, and we got to talk, and that was cool that he got to express everything and kind of similar feelings for the two of us. So that was amazing to talk to him, talk to Weidman. I talked to Weidman's doctor, but I almost felt like the guy didn't really, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it just felt like he didn't really, I don't want to say care, but it didn't seem like he was really, I feel like I was just another number to him kind of thing.
That happens with a lot of
Yeah,
doctors.
so I think that's the most PC way to put it.
It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
When doctors start thinking people are just like numbers.
I'm like, this is my neck we're talking about.
I know, right?
I'm like, and I'm not just a regular, I mean, I am a regular guy, but not just I don't do a regular job.
Fuck regular guys. You're the fucking bantamweight champion of the world. And your job is crazy as fuck. Oh, there it is. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's
Clown
an
emojis.
Articulating disc. So that disc allows your neck to move as freely as if you had the regular disc tissue in there.
Yeah.
And do you feel anything in there?
So that's what I was going to say. So I hit the doctor up, Dr. Watkins, and I go, is it weird that it feels like sometimes I need to oil my neck like a car? Because it feels like the joint, it gets like dry, because I can hear it go sometimes, not all the time.
Look at you.
Got my Shake Shack.
Is that right after you had it done?
Yeah.
Wow.
Got Shake Shack after. I needed that.
Go back to the other picture, Jamie.
Shake Shack needs to step their shit up though, man.
They do?
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Like just the service sometimes is it's like, but they make a damn good milkshake, so I'm okay with it.
That is wild. Looking at that neck thing.